Daniel?
Hi, Noel. I'm Daniel. So, do you have plans for a new album to BeadyBirds with your new songs? It's been 4 years since you released The Man Who Built the Moon. If you allowed me, I would suggest the name of the next album. It's Looking for a New Path. Thanks, bye.
What did he say? What was that? That wasn't a question.
He said, when do you plan on releasing a new High Flying Birds album? It's been 4 years. Can I suggest a title? He was actually more forceful than that.
Yeah.
And he said, it is called Taking a New Path or something like that.
Yeah. All right, Daniel. So, first things first, mate. I'm not short of a title. Okay. Has it been 4 years? Yeah. Well, yeah. My next album is penciled in for 2023.
Right.
And I'd penciled that in before the pandemic because I'd got back off tour 2019. I was going to have 2020 off. This year was writing, which I've written 8 new songs this year. You've heard some of them, Matthew.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah.
How many do you need for an album?
Probably about 16, 17. So you don't just write 10 then put them out because you need about 16, 17. So I'm halfway through it. And so this next year will be recording. And then 2023 will be putting it out because by then live music, rhythm and routine to it all, it's all a bit up in the air at the minute, isn't it? And people actually, until they go and see a live gig, won't realise what they've missed until they get it back.
Yeah,
I've done a gig recently, but it was for TV, and even the rehearsing of it with the other people gives you an amazing lift to your being. But I was at Sonny, my son, his school concert the other night. He did his first gig, and did I show you the video?
Yeah, he sent me the video. Yeah,
and he did. So there's a procession of angsty kind of. It's all ages. He's 10, so he's angsty teenagers singing "Creep" by Radiohead. What the hell am I doing here? What the hell are you doing here at this private school? It's because your dad's a doctor. That's what you're doing here. Okay. And you're here to follow in his footsteps. And introspective girls doing Amy Winehouse. And, free and easy chaps doing Uptown Funk, and all the acts were like, I'd say on average, all of them had 8 or 9 people on stage. Multiple guitarists. And I was thinking, well, wait till Sonny gets on. Sonny gets on. 3 of them. Power trio. He's the only one playing the guitar. I got a little knot in my stomach because I was like, well, he's only 10, do you know what I mean? He's not been playing that long. He's not even been interested in it that long. And there was a little thing, like a projected thing of who it was and what they were going to play. And it came up, 20th Century Boy, T-Rex. I was like, get in there, son. And he had it. He had it down. He had the riff. And he played a blinder. And he even did a little at the end. And I was
really
never
good.
been so proud of anything or anyone in my life. Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. And his mate, George Watson on the drums, George the timekeeper, was brilliant. Was it 4? GG was on key. Yeah, the 4 of them. But absolutely brilliant.
But Sonny's timing is brilliant. Is like metronomic.
Yeah, bang on.
Yeah.
And but I was very, very proud.
He sent me the video and I replied rather wittily, I see ripping off T-Rex is genetic.
What are you laughing at?
Sorry. That is good.
This is my life. Is me like getting excited about things and him going, so I see it runs in the family, does it? Stepping on dead people's copyright. I'm like, all right, the lad's 10, you know what I mean?
No, it was. I was impressed. When I first watched it, I was watching the singer. I thought, bloody hell, his hair's grown. He's got taller.
Then you see little Sonny at the back.
Yeah.
But he's virtually the same size as his guitar, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hang on. So in the past, I've said, why don't you teach your boys guitar? And you've said, they're not interested. So how did that come about?
No, because it's going to plan. My plan was always not to say, right, Dad's a musician, you're going to be a musician. Because I know loads of kids who've done that. And by the time they get to 21, they've given it up. They're just not interested. So my plan was just to leave musical instruments around the house. And Sonny's always had little like keyboards in his room, and a guitar.
Sadly, Donovan tripped over a guitar on the stairs, and
Donovan's more interested in girls, which, I mean, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
But Sonny is, he literally picked it up and he's had a go and he's into it.
So you didn't know he was going to do T-Rex?
Well, he was practicing a few things. He was like he Smoke on the Water. Then he came home one night and he said, "Can you play Thunderstruck by AC/DC?" I was like, sheepishly went, "No." And he was like, "Oh, guy in our school can play. He's grade 2. What grade are you?" I was like, "I'm grade 76 million, son. That's what I am. How about that?" Big up Sonny. He's made me very, very
He's
proud,
good,
Dad.
yeah.
Very good. Right, so we play a tune because I'm going to play a track by Stephen Stills. You know what Stephen Stills is?
No, never heard of him.
Have you ever heard Crosby, Stills, Nash?
Oh,
No?
yeah.
Well, he's the Stills.
Oh, he's the Stills.
This is a brilliant song called Love the One You With. You will have heard this, but you don't know it's Stephen Stills, but this is Love the One You With by Stephen Stills. This is Radio X. You're listening to Noel Gallagher, and him over there, Matt Morgan. So we're going to take another question from y'all. So who's this character?
Hello, the mighty Noel. I want to know, what do you think of Yoko Ono? She's a bit mental, isn't she? Bit of a bampot.
A bampot. She sent me a package recently, actually.
Yoko?
Yeah. And it arrived at the door. It was a gold box. And I immediately knew it was from Yoko Ono because it had a big sticker on the front that said, "From Yoko Ono."
Oh.
Well, it actually said from Yoko and Sean.
That's weird that you'd send that through the post. I suppose it got delivered properly. But you'd think someone might see that. Do you know what I mean? It should be a bit more anonymous.
I think it was like recorded delivery. But I've met Yoko on a couple of occasions, and she's a very, very lovely lady. But she's as an artist, she's quite far out.
What does she like? How does the John Lennon conversation?
I never spoke to her about John Lennon. As a matter of fact, I met her once in a restaurant in New York, and I went to be sat at a table, and she was there. And I met her.
Did you speak first to her?
Yeah, because I'd met her at an award ceremony.
Right.
Maybe a couple of years before, and sat down and had a chat with her. I don't think I ever spoke about John. I imagine she gets a bit sick of that, wouldn't you?
Mm.
She's got a bit of an aura about her, actually.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, he must have seen something in her.
Well, I think she released him artistically, didn't she? I think she validated his. I'm going to use the word crazy. Not that he was mad or crazy, but he was like. I think he wanted to get a bit far out, and Paul was not far out, and neither was Cynthia. So they were his two main partners. So I think she opened the door.
Do you think she's like unfairly maligned?
Yes.
Yoko?
Yeah. Well, that's, the Yoko broke up the Beatles thing. It's the kind of thing that would happen now on social media, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, as if like an outside entity could break up that band. But I guess at the time the press had to blame somebody. They couldn't blame Paul, couldn't blame John. So
Paul never blamed her, did he?
I've never heard any of the Beatles blaming her.
No.
I think the fact that Yoko was with John all the time, even while recording, that was a divisive act, because she was the only outsider in. When the four of them were there, she was with him, and that was divisive as an act. But you don't really hear any of them bad mouthing her.
It must have been weird though. Like, imagine,
Well, yeah, having been in a band, when all your birds turn up anyway, all of them, it's a weird thing, because you're in a little boys' club, and when the wags turn up, it's a different. All the boys act differently, you know what I mean? So I would imagine back then, and the Beatles and all that would have been as weird, yeah.
Yeah, because you think like that's a sort of a partnership, him and Paul especially, but like, and then it's weird that John didn't think, hang on, this is a bit mad because we've never had this before.
I think it was like a confrontational, aggressive gesture. Like, she's with me, what you can do about it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think they were. I think from the books that I've read, they were on the road on a slippery slope. They'd kind of all drifted apart, which bands do. You know what I mean? You kind of you're in a band when you're in your 20s and you're all in the back of a van, and then all of a sudden you're in your 40s and you've got kids, and you're not really the guy that joined the band. So it's not an uncommon thing. But yeah, she was unfairly maligned for the breakup of the Beatles. She was an easy target. You know, she was a Japanese woman. You know what I mean? And the press in this country are pretty racist anyway, and they always have been. You know what I mean? So they offered her up as it was her fault. You know, and fans took the bait, kind of thing. But from my own experiences, lovely lady. The cap is doffed. She was there. You know what I mean? She was there. So she's a lovely lady.
Okay.
Have you ever heard any of her tunes?
No, I just was aware of her like wailing in the background of things.
Have you seen any of her art?
Yeah, I saw the thing where you go up a ladder and there's a tiny little thing, like that sort of 60s pop art-y. It's not really pop art, but like, yeah.
Conceptual art, I think they call it. Yeah. I think she's cool, actually. And
what was in the box?
What box? Oh, it was a Plastic Ono Band
reissue
load
thing.
of merch, box set kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, because I'd done something for Sean on the day of John's 80th birthday, and it was thank you very much for that kind of vibe.
That was beautiful.
And I don't even know how she got my address. This is the weird thing, because I've never given her my address or Sean, and it just arrived at the house. So maybe they just said Noel Gallagher, London.
What did you do? Was it Jealous Guy?
Mind
Games.
I did it. Well, they wanted me to get involved with this album, and I couldn't get involved with it because I was doing something at the time. And on the eve of his birthday, Sean said, "Oh, you know, it's Dad's birthday tomorrow, and can you do something on your socials?" I happened to be in the studio, and I said, "Well, let's record. We'll just did a version of Mind Games and did a little film of that." And, yeah.
Is that ever coming out? That
yeah. I'll finish it off and do it for. I'll do it for Record Store Day maybe or something. I've done a lot of covers recently. I'll probably collect them all and do it for some or other. But it came out pretty good, actually.
It was really good.
Pretty good.
We have a question from one of our lovely listeners.
What song would you steal from another band and claim that you wrote if you could? Bye-bye.